hmm My name is Jessica Wilkerson, Jessica Wilkerson, and I'm a PhD candidate in history at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. So my dissertation is called, the title is Where Movements Meet: Women's Activism in the Appalachian South, 1965 to 1980. And it's based on life history interviews, archival records from around the country, news publications, film archives, things like that. And what I do is chart women's involvement in the war on poverty in 1965 through the 1970s, and then show how they got involved in all sorts of anti-poverty, labor rights, environmental, and gender justice campaigns up through the 1980s. Okay, so the women who got involved in Brookside, at first they got involved because their husbands had, the court had passed an injunction against them, meaning that the miners who had gone on strike were no longer legally allowed to picket at the gates of the company, or they could have like 3 to 6 people at the gates. So the wives decided that they would go to the picket lines because their husbands couldn't, and they said, there's not an injunction against us, so we can go stand on the picket lines. And the reason that the men were going out on strike is because, not necessarily because of their wages. They had relatively good wages compared to other miners, but the Brookside mine was very dangerous. They didn't have great safety regulations, and they had voted for the United Mine Workers of America to be their union, and the company wouldn't sign off on that contract. So they decided to go on strike. So it's partly to get better safety and health rights, partly to get the union recognized. So the women knew that having a union would also benefit them. It would mean their husbands are safer, they would get more vacation days, they would have more rights as workers. So they went out there originally to help support the miners, but to, I don't want to make it seem like it was just supporting them, because they would also benefit from the union itself and from the wages and safety regulations their husbands would have.